They're focusing on the main roads. That way, if there's any emergency crews that need to get out, they can do so. Starting to pile up on the ground here on top of that thick layer of ice. And actually what just happened was the front part of the building collapsed. Today, hundreds of survivors will join thousands at that site to honor and remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Here's what's happening right now at the federal building in Knoxville. As you can see, a large crowd of people shouting, chanting. We are taking a closer look at how the VA is trying to reduce opioid painkiller use among veterans. We've been seeing cars in the ditches. There's one right behind me. A victory for protesters in North Dakota. Let's take a look at what they're saying on Twitter. The hashtag #NugaStrong is trending. They say they're not going to let this stop them from running their business. They do have a security system in place. Again, the suspect is still on the run, though. We will let you know more information as soon as we get it in. But the important thing is that little girl is going to be okay. Also sitting in the courtroom, the family of 24-year-old Carl Avery. That's the young man who was stabbed to death.
It's going to be a long road. I know it's going to be a long, long road. I just want justice for my son.
Well, a victory for people against abortions in Ohio. The heartbeat bill has passed the House. For 3 years, this home behind me sat vacant in dire need of repair until Habitat for Humanity stepped in, and now single mother Jennifer Brown has this newly remodeled home just in time for Christmas. Let's go check it out. The beam will soon be the centerpiece of the 9/11 First Responders Last Call Memorial here at Toledo Memorial Park. The park is setting aside 1 acre of land dedicated to first responders. Hello, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We're having a good old time here this morning. I'm Kayla Strayer. Temperatures have been below freezing all day and keep dropping tonight.
Well, let me check your gear for you, buddy.
7-year-old Evan Pung is getting his helmet and safety straps on.
There it is.
He's ready to climb this rock wall, and up he goes all the way to the top.
Doing good, buddy.
It was cool. I was surprised I climbed all the way to the top.
Evan is one of about 90 kids staying this week at YMCA store Camps Catch a Rainbow in Jackson, Michigan. It's a place where kids can be kids and forget about the medical world. Every child here is either being treated for cancer or is in remission. 10-year-old Nicholas Pinkstiff from Toledo is one of those children.
My doctor, Dr. Strunk, nice guy, he said everything's going to be okay, it's going to be fine. And me and my family always prayed for me every night.
His doctor was right. Nicholas tells me he is in remission and is feeling better than ever. Right now, he's making this seat cushion for his mom to use at his hockey games.
This place is really cool and all, and I love it.
The kids enjoy a week filled with activities, zip lining, horseback riding, and a fan favorite, swimming. All of this for free, thanks to donations and about 50 volunteers, including around-the-clock medical staff. Camp counselor Tommy Smart says they all work hard to give these kids the best experience possible.
These kids are going through their own unique battles back home, but this camp is completely free for them to come to, and in doing so, they get a chance to be, like I said, a kid. They don't have to worry about any diseases they're battling or any of their battles back home.
He loves watching the kids grow as they come back year after year.
You know, I've seen campers go from 1 year being completely wheelchair bound to the next year here they're walking around, being able to go swimming, and the year before they couldn't even get out of the wheelchair.
Stories of inspiration are found everywhere on this peaceful property, making dreams come true for very grateful children.
I like all the friends I made. Everyone here's my friend, though.
In Jackson, Michigan, Kayla Strayer, NBC 24 News.
Now a story you'll see only on NBC 24 News tonight. More help is on the way for people struggling with opiate addiction in our community. Plans for another detox and recovery center are in the works. NBC 24's Kayla Strayer found out why this will be one of the first of its kind in Lucas County.
This is 29-year-old Matt Bell. He has been on and off heroin for 9 years. He's been sober for 15 months. Right now, he's working with local recovery group Team Recovery to open a detox and recovery center in Lucas County. It will be based on the substance-free methods that he says worked for him.
I didn't want to live anymore. I didn't think that I could stop using heroin.
Addicted to one of Toledo's deadliest drugs, Matt Bell tells me he felt like he had reached a point of no return.
And when I looked in the mirror, I didn't recognize myself anymore.
Things weren't always that way. The former college athlete hurt his shoulder playing baseball. At 19, he had surgery and then started taking pills to help the pain.
The Oxycontin got very expensive, and unfortunately heroin was more readily available. It was cheaper.
The drugs turned him into someone he wasn't, landing him behind bars multiple times.
I had pushed everybody away in my family, my friends. I was completely alone and I was miserable, and I'm just not that kind of person.
That's when he reached out to DART, Lucas County's Drug Abuse Response Team. Lieutenant Robert Kromick heads up the program. It uses treatment to get addicts off drugs and out of jail.
These are high-risk individuals that are on the brink of either dying or committing serious crime to keep their addiction going.
Kromick says more than 2,000 people overdosed on opiates in Lucas County this year alone, yet there are less than 40 detox beds.
I'd much rather bring somebody to a home and say this is, how well your son or daughter is doing, than show up at a funeral home and offer my condolences.
And that's why Team Recovery stepped in. They're turning this small meat building into the Midwest Recovery Center. It will have 22 detox beds, and workers will not prescribe opiates like Suboxone or methadone.
And we need to stop sugarcoating it and substituting one drug for another.
Instead, they will use therapy and a 12-step program, an approach that Matt says helped him get clean.
We're going to do it the right way, and we're going to try to address it and put a solution on it.
The Midwest Recovery and Detox Center is scheduled to open this spring. They will treat any kind of substance abuse addictions as well as mental health disorders. For more information, including insurance coverage, visit NBC24.com.
Children in need are getting a one-of-a-kind Christmas this year thanks to the Toledo Police Department and Feet on the Street. NBC 24's Kayla Strayer shows us the holiday magic happening at the annual 12 Kids of Christmas event.
Sirens buzzing, people waving, kids coming by the busload. It's anything but a typical day at Meyer on Alexis Road. On Monday, the nonprofit community outreach Feet on the Street had their 8th annual 12 Kids of Christmas event. Whoa. Children in need are going on a shopping spree with Toledo police officers and local military members. This year, some patients at Toledo Children's Hospital get to take part. It means the world to Jessica Henneman, mother of 6-year-old Amanda and 12-year-old Joseph.
My kids are in and out of the hospital quite a bit because they're cystic fibrosis. My son was just recently discharged. He had pneumonia going on pretty bad.
Joseph and Amanda are paired up with TPD officer Eric Welling and his wife, Sarah.
2 great kids, and their mom seems like she really loves them and cares about them, so that makes it more special to us.
The way I see it, if I'm down, my kids are down. I have to be strong for my kids.
Sarah works at the hospital, helping children who have cystic fibrosis.
It's a hard disease because it consumes so much of your time.
But today, their time is consumed by shopping for their Christmas gifts with the officers.
We have 4 kids, so we know how excited they get around Christmas time, and to come here and help these kids enjoy Christmas a little more really is something that I enjoy doing on my time off. I really like it.
So what started as 12 children 8 years ago has now turned into 200 children walking the aisles of Meyer with the police officers, getting really anything they want.
I got a sweatshirt, a snowboard.
This little girl getting an elf on the shelf.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking your time for the kids today to make their Christmas a little bit more brighter.
Reporting in Toledo, Kayla Strayer, NBC 24 News. December 2nd, 2014, a dreary day in Knoxville, bringing images our community will never forget. Emergency responders, frantic parents.
I thought I was going to pass out.
These now mangled school buses, once filled with innocent children. The Asheville Highway bus crash, killing 3 people from Sunnyview Elementary School. 7-year-old Soraya Glasper, 6-year-old Zykia Burns, and 46-year-old teacher's aide Kimberly Riddle.
Comfort us all.
The mom of Zykia Burns sharing hugs and encouragement at a candlelight vigil.
I just want the other families to know that we are grieving with them.
We've shown you how East Tennesseans are helping each other since that day. A memorial at the crash site filling fast, children writing sympathy cards, and donations for the victims' families. At Soraya's funeral, her mom Sharon Glasper sharing mixed emotions, calling her daughter by her nickname, Bubbles.
I know she's happy, and I know she left happy, but there's questions why.
6 months after the crash, Sharon Glasper is still waiting for answers.
I hold up from the support that I get, but when I'm by myself, I'm down.
Daryl DeBusk with the Knoxville Police Department tells me this case continues to be a priority for them.
We have several investigators that are working on this. We have one lead investigator that, for the most part, that's always been working on since the bus crash occurred.
Searching every square inch of the buses, trying to find out just what caused Bus 44 to swerve over Asheville Highway, crashing into the side of oncoming Bus 57, sending Bus 57 on its side, sliding down the highway. The main questions police are trying to answer: was it human error, medical problems, mechanical issues, or a combination of reasons?
Our priority is to the victims and the victims' families, and we want to make sure that we do our job accurately and that we find out exactly what caused this so that we can inform them, they can get some closure, and we can move forward in the investigation and prosecution if it comes to that.
He says right now multiple agencies continue doing lab tests while police are talking to bus manufacturers and with other departments who have handled similar cases.
It should be a thorough check. That's how I feel. On everything, the bus drivers, the school buses.
I asked Sharon if she thinks having seat belts on the school bus would have made any difference.
Yeah, I mean, the bus drivers, they had on seat belts.
While detectives do their jobs, Sharon's focus is on remembering Bubbles and the last time she saw her smile, that December morning dropping her off at school.
I signed her in and she was like, well, I was like, I love you. She's like, Mom. And I was like, I love you. She's like, Mom, I love you too. And she walked on down the hallway with that smile. And that was the last smile that I had seen and will never forget.
On Flag Day, the veterans are getting the red carpet treatment from the moment they board this plane. And the cheers continue when they make it to their first stop. I was there as Frank is greeted by active duty military members and volunteers. They all came out to the airport to welcome these heroes. It's a day filled with handshakes and thank yous and taking lots of pictures to remember this experience. I interviewed Frank as he is touring the World War II Memorial. Describe the atmosphere. What's it like being here right now?
I don't like to use the word, but it's awesome.
The only thing missing from this trip, Frank's wife, Shirley. She died 6 years ago after nearly 65 years of marriage.
We visit here together, and it brings back her memories to me today.
After a whirlwind trip around the city, it is back home to Toledo. Frank's signature smile lighting up the room as he gets welcomed back home by several hundred people.
I say hip hip hooray for the USA.